Why is it that Inkosi uShaka is described as savage in our history books? Ilembe leqamanya amalembe ngokukhalipha is painted tall, dark, and uglier than he looks. Never described as a military strategist. Oh no, that is reserved for Lord Milner. Have you seen that the production of anything immersed in melanin, of the darker shade in skin color, and descending from African origin, is seen as evil, fearful, and should be cast outright from its inception? Oliver Tambo was called a terrorist, yet he was a diplomat that was shown no diplomacy. When he stood in front of the United Nations, he proved that leadership needs no title, for he was neither an elected president or prime minister, but held the mandate of the majority of South Africans. It just so happens that they were black. I'm reminded of Patrice Lumumba, whose leadership was so visionary that the enemies of Africa could not afford that the Democratic Republic of Congo should advance any further than he had taken it. I remember Kwame Nkrumah, the first black elected president of an African country. He represented the manifestation of Maibuye i-Afrika, for Africa was beginning to return to its owners, the tillers of its land, the indigenous inhabitants of its brown soil, the rightful owners of its gold, of its diamond, of its cobalt, of its cotton, of its cocoa, of its platinum, of its oil, of its copper. Funny how the white man has a hatred for black skin, but a passionate love for its possessions. I must conclude, therefore, that racism is a political system for the advancement of economic output. The oppression of the black man is necessary for the exploitation of his production. I must conclude that racism is not driven by fear, but greed. They fear the black man because he has the potential to curb their greed. The African must not read and he must not write. He must not think strategically or opine intellectually. He must not advance socially or express himself poetically. I call on the African nation to rise above the artificial borders imposed by those who do not reside within them, to transcend distance and time, and fight racism wherever it raises its ugly head, to rise above the artificial economic barriers laid by those who exploit our raw materials, to rise above the artificial divides that cast us along ethnic lines, to rise above any force that seeks to oppress and suffocate us. Let Africa breathe, let Africa live, let Africa strive. Ke Malefole, kgothatso wa setjhaba.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another.